Welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Wednesday, September 4th, 2013. The United States is moving closer toward authorizing an attack on Syria. Yesterday was an action-packed day in Washington, D.C. The Speaker of the House, a Republican, John Boehner, announced his support for President Obama's plan to attack the Assad regime. Also, an agreement was reached in the United States Senate between Democrats and Republicans. The vote will occur next week, apparently. Meanwhile, in Russia, ever the realist, Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, said he does not understand why President Assad would have used chemical weapons in the battlefield when his army was winning. He said it would be absolutely absurd. He said, from my viewpoint, it seems completely absurd that the armed forces, which are on the offensive today and in some areas have encircled the so-called rebels and are finishing them off, that in these conditions would start using forbidden chemical weapons while realizing quite well that that use could serve as a pretext for applying the use of force against them. Mr. Putin has a point. The American government says that they have incontrovertible evidence that 1,429 people were killed by the chemical weapons attack. Today, Secretary of State Kerry and Defense Secretary Hagel are appearing in front of the House Foreign Relations Committee to discuss the matter further. There was a 6.9 magnitude earthquake that struck off the Izu Islands this morning. In Japan, it was felt about 400 miles away in Tokyo. It occurred at 9:18 a.m. local time this morning. Reuters is reporting that building shook in downtown Tokyo, though there was no report of any damage or injuries. There was no tsunami warning either. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Abe announced that he is personally going to get involved in Tokyo's bid to try to win the 2020 Olympic Games, despite these ongoing earthquakes and the radioactive leak at the Fukushima plant. Tiger Risk CEO Rod Fox, one of the most respected people in the industry, in a pre-Monte Carlo briefing, warned the reinsurance industry that, quote, hope is not a strategy. He forecasted that property cat rates would be down 15% at the January renewals. He said that standard casualty reinsurance rates could also drop by 10 to 20%. Fox said that retro rates are also likely to drop about 20% on American business and 5 to 10% for international business. Fox noted that the traditional syndicated reinsurance placements are coming under continued pressure from a combination of increased insurance-linked securities and private placements. It's leading buyers to slim down the amount of traditional reinsurance that people buy. It'll be interesting to see how Mr. Fox anticipates the market is going to shape up for brokers. Rod Fox is usually several steps ahead of most people. Tens of thousands of South African gold miners have walked off the job. They're striking for higher wages. The strike started last night as the National Union of Mine Workers, representing 80,000 gold miners in the sector, said that they've had enough. They're demanding wage increases of up to 60%. President Zuma of South Africa has urged both sides in the dispute to reach an agreement. The Big Three broker Willis apparently is emerging as the prospective purchaser of the reinsurance broking arm of Towers Watson. There are conflicting stories. Willis is apparently interested in making the announcement before the Monte Carlo meeting next week. However, there's still a strong current of rumor that Cooper Gay is in fact in the running to purchase Towers Watson. So we'll see what's happening there. We don't quite know yet. An employee died and another was missing following an explosion at a fireworks factory. Most fireworks factory explosions are in China. This one was located in tranquil Switzerland, of all places, in the village of Oberried on Lake Brienz. The explosion occurred when the workers were in the process of destroying so-called waste material. Seriously damaged a nearby house. The police rushed to the scene immediately. This occurred this morning at 7:40 a.m. The name of the factory is the Hamburger Swiss Pyrotechnics. It employs 30 people. It's been producing fireworks since 1863. They've had two big blasts in the past, one in 1959 that killed 10 people and one in 1941 that killed 12 people. After the 1959 incident, the company issued a no-smoking policy. You may be aware of this story from other media outlets. There's a new 38-story office building in the downtown financial district of London at 20 Fenchurch Street. It's nicknamed the Walkie-Talkie, nicknamed such because it actually looks like a walkie-talkie. It's a striking building. It was designed by the internationally renowned architect Raphael Vignoli. The problem with the building is because of the concave reflective glass used, there is a period of 2 hours a day where the southern sun beams off the building in a magnifying kind of factor and has in the past melted several things. It's melted the interior of a local barbershop. It's also melted the interior of a local bank. And over the weekend, it melted the interior of somebody's Jaguar. It's not an unprecedented situation. A similar problem has emerged at a Las Vegas hotel designed by the same architect called the Vidara Hotel. It too has a concave reflective glass facade, and it beams out what the employees of the hotel call the Vidara death ray. One would think that the architect might have made some adjustments or at least posted signs in an exclusion zone near the hotel not to park your car there because it might melt. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.